King decides the marriages of his three sons by throwing a wooden stick. Each prince has to follow the direction of the stick to find a wife. The first son's stick points in the direction of the baron's daughter. The second son's stick points in the direction of the count's daughter. The youngest son's stick points to the jungle. And so the three sons set off. But the youngest son was devastated. All he could think of was, how can I find my wife in the jungle? And that's when he met a kitten. The kitten kept chasing the prince. The prince told the kitten to leave him alone. He had to find his wife. The kitten said happily, she's willing to marry the prince. Looking at the clinging kitten, the prince had to say yes before he could leave. By now, the brothers had returned home. They had found a nobleman's daughter for a wife, but the youngest son said, they'll find out when the time comes. The king ordered all the princes to bring back a bouquet of flowers from the bride's hand. The two older brothers set off in high spirits. Only the youngest son came to the jungle in sadness. He told the kitten with a sad face that his father had asked him to get flowers from the bride. The kitten told him not to worry, go to sleep in peace. Then the cat came to the tree and dug a hole. Not long after that, three kittens crawled out of the hole. They were carrying silver, gold and diamond colored flowers. She used her paws to organize the flowers into a bouquet and gave them to the little prince. The king praised his sons for their beautiful flowers, but the youngest son's bouquet was the most beautiful. This time they asked who his wife was, but the little prince told them to wait. They would find out later. 1 week later, the king again asked his sons to bring back a handkerchief from the bride. The princes set off again. The youngest son came to the jungle with a sad face, because he knew that cats don't spin. But the little cat told him not to worry, sleep in peace. The kittens went back to digging in the tree, and again three kittens came out of the hole. They were carrying silver, gold and diamond threads. She used them to make a handkerchief for the prince. When they returned home, the king praised them again. The youngest son's handkerchief was the most beautiful of all. Another week passed. The king sent the princes to fetch the bride. The two brothers finally waited for the day. They set out to meet their brides. The young prince was in a complete panic because he couldn't bring the kitten home. The kitten still told him not to worry and to sleep in peace, but the prince was in no mood to sleep. But he fell asleep to the cat's touch. The kitten went back to the tree and dug a hole. This time the hole glowed brightly and brought the prince to the cave. He rushed to it. She was transformed into a human being by the golden light. The prince was shocked when he woke up. The kitten was actually a princess, cursed by magic. She could only be restored when someone wanted to marry her. The prince kissed the princess happily and took the princess back to his home. The palace was in the midst of a wedding ceremony. The guards report, the king of a neighboring country is visiting. The old king took a closer look. It was the young prince and his bride. Everyone was very surprised. The young prince had never said who his bride was. The wedding feast lasted 3 days of celebration.